Chris Jude's calling you.
Let's check it out. Hail and kill, Fucky. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
What up?
It's Chris from Raleigh.
What's up, Chris from Raleigh? How are you, man?
What's up, Chris from Raleigh?
What's going on? Now, I went to go see the Poison show last night. They had their own show last night. They got up the Def Leppard tour in Raleigh.
Okay.
Awful. Bret Michaels was a shit show last night.
Why was he a shit show? Was his voice actually fucked up?
His voice was horrible. The whole band, CC was awesome, but like Ricky Rocket, you could tell he was just coming out of the cancer thing. He had zero energy. Bobby Dahl looks like a school professor now.
He does. He's got those glasses. Was he wearing the glasses on stage?
He wears the glasses on stage with like a ski cap. Meanwhile, it's like 90 degrees.
Finally losing that hair, I guess.
I don't know. And then they don't play I Want Action. Like, that's one of your biggest hits. They don't even play it.
They don't play it at all?
Really?
They didn't play it. They did 3 covers, and they don't do I Want Action.
Wait a minute. 3 covers? What 3 covers did they play?
They did Rock and Roll All Night. They did We're an American Band. And they did Your Mama Don't Dance. I mean, that's a cover, but I know they try to make it like it's their own, but they did 3 covers.
Wow. So were there any songs in the set that were at least kind of a surprise? Like, oh, wow, I can't believe they played this. And Ride the Wind doesn't count, by the way, because that's kind of like their, ooh, look at our deep album cut.
They did, basically, they did their greatest hits. They didn't do I Want Action, and they didn't do I Won't Forget You. Those are the 2 like big hits that they didn't do.
Was this show with Def Leppard?
No, he said they weren't there.
No, this was like they had a night off from the Def Leppard tour, so it was supposed to be Poison, Extreme, and Jackal. Extreme canceled at the last minute. I don't know why. Jackal was amazing. Jackal was phenomenal.
Right. But you still got fucked in the ass on your ticket because your ticket was what, about $70?
Chris, I waited till about 2 hours before the show. I went on SeatGeek, and I wound up getting tickets in the VIP section for $40 a piece.
Holy shit.
That's not bad.
Really?
So, yeah, that was a score. That was a score.
High demand for the Poison show, I guess.
I mean, it definitely wasn't close to being sold out.
All right, let me just ask you this question, dude, and I'm not calling you faggot or anything, but maybe I am. Why were you going to the Poison show?
I think I called you a couple of weeks ago. I'm the guy who met Bret Michaels. I'm the Keith Caputo guy.
Okay, yeah.
Ho, wait a minute.
This is Chris the Cop, right?
Yes, that's me.
Whoa. It's Mina Caputo, man. Come on
now.
No,
stop it. It's Chris the Cop.
Hold on. We have to be respectful.
No, we don't. Fuck that guy.
Hey, we have to be respectful.
Fuck that guy. So you go to the Poison show and they don't play Poison songs. That's what you're saying?
Play Poison, and they had zero energy. It was. I've seen Poison a bunch of times. They've always put on a good show, but like I said, I don't know if it's because Ricky's been sick or what. And Bret did his best Vince Neil impression last night. Like speaking the words, putting the mic in the crowd half the time. He does this move where he like points to the people in the front row while he's singing. I don't know what was going on.
Were you trying to sing the vocals for him?
I probably could have did a better job, and I can't sing for shit.
I got to say, as a singer, how can Bret Michaels not hit those notes? It's not very difficult.
He even like Something to Believe in, he changed like the arrangement.
Really?
It was really strange.
I'm surprised they would do that on that song because that's a very personal song to them.
I'll tell you what, though, the cougar ass was out last night, though, man.
Was there a lot of cougar ass out?
Oh my God, Chris! It was, and I'm from New York, so I'm used to seeing the broads that go to the New Jersey and the New York shows.
Right.
Yep.
Down here in North Carolina, they're like stuck in a fucking time warp.
Now, dude. All right, let's get into this. What were you wearing? What were the chicks around you wearing?
Dude, I had on a pair of shorts and an LA Guns t-shirt. That's it.
Okay. And what were the chicks around you wearing?
Oh, I mean, you still had chicks with the fucking hair teased up, and I don't like even like the guys. Like I think every gas station in North Carolina was closed last night, so the gas pumpers could go to the concert.
So let's do the math. Did you get some fucking poison pussy?
No, dude, let me tell you something, though. I just moved down here. I've been here for a month.
All right.
And I banged 7 chicks already, living down here for a month. It's fucking easy pick.
Wait a minute. How many?
7 so far.
7.
Including one threesome.
Wait
wow.
a minute. Now,
all right, now we're getting into it.
Now, was it 2 chicks and 1 dude, or was it with 2 dudes and 1 chick, or what?
No, 2 chicks. I'm new down here, so I don't really have any, like, I basically moved down here, like, spur of the moment, so I don't have any guy friends other than my one friend from New York, and he's married.
All right, so
no, it was I bartend, so there was a chick I met at the bar, and her parents were away, so she's like, oh, do you want to come over after work? My parents have a hot tub.
All right.
We went over, we're in the hot tub, her friend texts, and she's like, yeah, that's my friend. I mess around with her once in a while, and I was like, well, get her over here. And she came over.
So she comes over, and now how do you play this to get your dick in both mouths?
Chris, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been like in the swinger lifestyle a long time. Are you familiar with BBWs?
Yeah, sure.
Of course. He's aching. Of course he's from the BBWs.
Dude, I'm a big fan of BBWs.
All right.
I like cute, chubby girls. That's my thing. So I was part of this whole, like, New Jersey, New York BBW party scene that got ruined by 2 things. 1 being gastric bypass surgery and 2 being black eyes.
So you said what? So wait a minute. So you said, listen, bring your fat asses over here and suck my dick, or how does this work?
Oh my
God. I mean, for the threesome?
Yeah.
No, dude, this is what happened. I'm sitting in the jacuzzi and we're bullshitting, and she tells me a story about how she had a Super Bowl party and it turned into an orgy.
All right.
So I was like, Jesus Christ. So she shows me a picture of her and these 3 girls and 2 guys sitting naked on a couch.
All right.
And then, like, 10 minutes later, her phone, she gets a text, and she's like, oh, that's my friend. I was like, is it one of the girls from the Super Bowl party? And she's like, yeah. I was like, get her over here. And she's like, okay. And the girl showed up.
So wait a minute. So let's play this game. So she shows up. Now, what does she look like, and what does she weigh?
No, what? She's probably like 210.
210. So that's
a big girl.
That's a slimmy.
No, because listen, I look at it. I judge it like if they're between like a size 10 and a size 18.
Okay.
Here's my theory, Chris. I'd rather be with a chubby girl who's pretty than with like a busted face girl who has like a bikini body.
I'm with you. Actually, all the way.
I think I could agree with that.
I'm with you all the way.
Like you see, like a smoking hot body, and the face is just totally hit.
Okay,
like,
but let's play this game. What was the first girl that was there that called the friend? Was she hot, or was she fat, or what was she?
No, she wasn't even in the realm of hot. But she, like I said, she came into the bar I was working, and I was working during the day. She came in during happy hour, and she started flirting. A lot of these girls down here are very intrigued by, like, the New York accent and the whole I used to be a cop thing and all that stuff. So they're, like, very flirty down here.
So well, hold on. So that I'm clear. So you got this fatty in the bar, and this fatty's ready to suck your dick. But you're like, hey, call your fat friend to come and fucking suck my dick with you.
No. She leaves because I'm still at work. So she invites me over her parents' house because her parents have the jacuzzi. They're on vacation. So when I get out of work, I head over to her parents' house.
All right.
We go in the jacuzzi. We're having some drinks. She tells me the Super Bowl story. And then the phone beeps. It's her friend. And I was like, oh, is that the friend from the Super Bowl party? And she's like, yeah. I was like, get her over here. And she's like, okay.
Was there a zoo truck that came by?
There was a guy with a shovel and a pail walking behind her.
So we have to ask, what is it about the bigger girls that turns you on?
Here's what happened. When I was in my 20s, I came across there was these BBW parties that they had in New Jersey and New York.
Okay.
So, like the ones in New Jersey, they would like rent. They would like there's a town in New Jersey called Totowa, and there was a Holiday Inn, and like the girls they would be like big girl promotions, and they would like promote parties that they would like rent out like the wedding hall in the hotel.
Right.
And they all knew like, and they'd go there, and they'd all go there because they knew that there was guys that like bigger girls.
Okay.
So I kind of like weaseled my way in, and the next thing you know, like I became like, I used to make a joke like they treated me like Brad Pitt there.
Right.
Right.
So they would have like contests at midnight, and I'd be like the MC to contest. They do have like fucking hot Sunday eating contests, and they were doing wet T-shirt contests and shit like that.
Okay.
And then next thing you know, I became like the king of the BBW party.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh shit! I mean, the parties died out. The parties, like I said, the two things. All these girls, a lot of these girls started having that gastric bypass and losing weight, which is awful because they lose the weight and then they have all that excess skin and they're like a fucking melted candle. I'd rather than be fat.
So what turns you on about a fat girl then?
And then the black guys. And then the black guys came in, they swooped in. Because the black guys will fuck anything. So you got these guys, like these good-looking black guys that look like Derek Jeter or like LL Cool J. And they'll fuck a 300-pounder because they'll fuck anything with a hole.
So, again, what turns you on about a fat girl?
They're just more fun. They're fun. Oh, my God, they're so much fun, man. And like I said, but they got to be pretty. My friend had to move. My friend used to go to the parties with me, and the fat girls would always have, like, the one hot friend that was there, like, for support. And he would leave with the fucking hot friend.
So what would you do? No, hold on. You can't just leave that out there. So your friend goes with the fucking hot girl. What do? Just pick up some fucking bim?
No, he's don't get me wrong. He had his turn with a couple of the dubs too, but
all right.
It was, I don't know, man. It was easy pickings. It's fun. Even now, like I go on Plenty of Fish, all these dating sites.
Right.
I'm looking for the pretty chubby girls.
They are easy. That is true.
And I'm going to tell you what else the big move is now too with these girls, especially like on the dating sites and stuff. I think it's like what you and Neely talk about, like the pussification of men these days. Like a lot of these girls, like they meet a guy and the guy's like, "Oh, let me take you out on a date Friday night," and the girl's like, "All right, cool. Like, what do you want to do?" Like 90% of these guys would be like, "I don't care. I'll do whatever you want to do." And these girls don't want to hear it. They want to hear like, "This is what we're doing. This is where we're going. When we go out, this is what I ordered. I ordered the food." Like they want to be told what to do, and like guys don't realize that. Especially like a lot of women these days have like jobs where like, you know, they're the boss.
Right.
So when they're like out of work, like they want to be told what to do, and that's my move, and it works like you wouldn't believe.
Right. Have you played this move and just ended up with something fucking completely gnarly?
No, I'm the girls I get with are all pretty girls, but they range in weight.
So what's the top weight you're willing to accept?
Oh man, well,
320.
I weigh like 260.
Okay, so what do you say? 320.
Wow. I don't know. I really don't know. I never get them on the scale. I guess the biggest I've been with is probably about $3 bills.
$3 bills. Would you bang a $4 bitch?
Say it again?
Would you bang a $4 bitch?
I can't say I wouldn't.
So answer me this, dude, because this is fascinating to me. When you go ahead and you accept a fucking 300-pound fucking bitch, is it because you know that she'll fucking suck your dick really well, or is it because you think that she'll fucking perform well outside of sucking your dick?
Both. And this is and this is gonna sound horrible. Like my last girlfriend was hot. Like she had a bikini body. Like she was hot.
Okay.
But when I'm not interested in a relationship right now. So I'm just out there just looking for girls to fuck.
Right.
So it's kind of, and then the other big thing is I get a lot of married chicks where like the husband like gets off on watching me fuck their wives.
Wow.
Yeah, that's another thing that's big. That's big.
Now, how much does that pay?
I don't know. I don't get paid for that. He's just like.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Hold on, dude. So a chick will come to you and say, look, I'm married. My husband's sitting here, and I want you to stick your dick in me, and you'll fuck her, but you don't get paid for that?
No, I don't get paid for it. I'm having a good time. The wives are usually pretty hot.
That's like fucking...
So,
dude, now let's be honest. And this is total swinger shit, and I do not know this world. So you're banging the wife, okay? Do you ever look at the husband who's being a fucking total cuck faggot?
Oh, all the time. I'll taunt them. I'll fucking all that good stuff.
You'll taunt him?
Oh, dude, but and listen, and I'm 100% straight, but there's been times when like. The guy wants me to, like, fucking cream pie his wife, and he comes and he licks the fucking cream pie out of her.
Oh, my God.
Like that.
Wow. Holy shit.
Dude, the first time I ever did something like this, it was actually, like, kind of scary because, like, I pull out and I come on the wife's tits, and he leaves the room, and I'm like, fuck, this guy's going to get a knife and kill me. And he walks back in with, like, a roll of paper towels and starts cleaning my cum off his wife's chest.
Wow.
Craziness. But it's fun, man.
It's fun.
It's fun. I see. This guy's my hero. You're my hero, dude, because you are literally living. You are literally living what I want to do.
Dude, my friend's wife has begged me to write a book. Like, she's begging me to write a book about the shit that I've done in my life.
All right. Why don't you do it?
And I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Dude, I took a stripper to my high school prom. I've done a lot of fucked up shit in my life.
Tell me about your high school prom.
Yes.
All right. So, in high school, I worked at a deli. I was like 17 years old, and the guy who owned the deli, his cousin owned the local strip club, so we were able to get into the strip club underage.
Okay.
So there was one girl that danced there that was like a cunt to everybody, but she was always cool to me because I wasn't like the guy who was like trying to touch their tits and all that kind of stuff. I was like kind of cool about it.
Right.
So we were there on a Sunday night. And there were a couple of my buddies, and the prom was on Thursday night. Now I already had a date for the prom. It wasn't like a girlfriend or anything, just some girl I was friends with.
Okay.
So we were there, and this girl, the stripper's name was Lisa T.
All right.
So she was dancing. I said to my friends, I was like, you know what? $50 a piece. I get her to go to the prom with me on Thursday. So they put the $50 each up. So I go, listen. So she comes over. She goes, what's the matter? She's like, you look really sad. I was like, I don't want to talk about it. She's like, when I'm done with my set, I'm going to come over and have a drink with you.
Okay.
So my set's over. She comes and has a drink with me. She's like, what's the matter? I was like, listen, my prom's Thursday night. My girlfriend just broke up with me. I don't have a date.
Okay.
She's like, I'll go. I was like, you'll go? I was like, I'm 17 years old. She's like, I know. She's like, I never got a chance to go to my prom. I'll go. I was like, wow. So now I went to an all-boys Catholic high school.
Okay.
So, but I had friends that went to other schools. So the word gets out that I'm taking a stripper to my prom, and my parents, we were having like the limo was picking everyone up at my parents' house.
Okay.
My parents had like hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. Next thing you know, there was literally about 200 people in the street outside my parents' house. The cops had to come, like put barricades up and shit. It was like crazy. So the night before the prom, I get a phone call from the girl Lisa T, and she's like, "Listen," she's like, "I can't get out of work tomorrow night. I can't come to the prom with you." But in New York, like after the prom, we'd all go into Manhattan, and there'd be like clubs that would let you in underage, but you couldn't drink.
Sure.
She's like, what club are you going to? What club are you going to after the prom? I'll meet you there.
Okay.
So I tell her. She's like, but I'm gonna send another girl from the club to go on the prom with you. I
Right.
was like, all right, who are you sending? She's like, I'll send Stacey Gold. So I don't know who Stacey Gold is.
Okay.
So this girl shows up to my parents' house, and like my dad's like a strict like Marine Catholic, that whole thing. He like pulls me into the fucking kitchen. He's like, "What the fuck is this about?"
Right.
He's like, "What, do you got a hooker?" And I was like, "No." I couldn't tell him. So my best friend at the time is like, "Do you know who this girl is?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "That's Stacey Goldstein." He goes, "Russell Goldstein was the kid we played basketball against." He goes, "That's Russell Goldstein's sister." He goes, "She's a year younger than us." So now we get in the limousine. All my friends' girlfriends are fucking hate me right now because there's a stripper in the limo with us.
Right.
And about 5 minutes into the ride, she's like, "Anyone want to see a picture of my kid?" And I was just like, "Oh no, here we go." Like,
Picture of her kid. Ugh.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that right there. So we wound up going out into the Manhattan afterwards, and she was disappearing like every 5 minutes. So I asked my friend's girlfriend, I was like, "Have you seen my date?" And she's like, "Dude, she's in the bathroom doing coke." And it was like, it became like a total shit show. So I didn't want to banging her. I didn't want to bang her or nothing. But the other girls showed up, and they paged me, and they wouldn't let her in because she wasn't dressed in like prom clothes. Like she had on like jeans and like a t-shirt, and they wouldn't let her in 'cause she wasn't dressed in prom.
Go figure.
So
that
was my taking a.
That's fucking
taking a
awesome,
prom
dude.
story.
That is so fucking awesome.
Good God.
All right, I got one. Do you remember the porn star from the '80s, Jerry Butler?
Sure.
Yes.
All right, so I'm in the same strip club one night, and Jerry Butler comes in. This is like he was kind of like blackballed from the porn industry because he had written a book called Raw Talent,
Right.
and he exposed like the whole porn industry in his book. So I recognized him. I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Aren't you Jerry Butler, the porn star?" He's like, "Yeah." His real name is Paul Cederman.
Okay.
So he was driving a school bus on Staten Island. That was like his after porn job.
Was driving a school bus?
He was driving a school bus.
Good God.
So he was still doing some underground porn and stuff like that. So he's like, "Listen," he's like, "Oh, you're a good-looking kid." I was like in good shape. I was on the football team. I was on the wrestling team. He's like, "Would you want to get involved in the movies?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm like 17 years old. I was like, "This is great." So we exchanged phone numbers. This is like 1990, so there was no cell phones or everything. So everything was like done through payphones and shit. So I go to school the next day, and I'm like, I'm friends with Jerry Butler, the porn star. I'm making phone calls to him. I'm putting my friends on the phone with him stuff. And then he's like, "All right." He's like, "When would you want to come out and see if you want to like do a shoot with us?" And word got out around my school. Like I said, it was an all-boys Catholic high school, and I get called into the dean's office. And they're
Right.
like, "What's this story about you being friends with a porn star?" And I was like, No. He's like, "They're like, listen, they're like, if you don't cut your relationship off with this guy, like, we're calling your parents." And I was like afraid of my fucking parents. Like I said, my dad was like a Marine, and he was kicking my ass. So I had to like break up with Jerry Butler. It was horrible.
Jesus Christ. You have lived the life, my friend.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I've had a really, really good time, man.
I bet, man. Have you had a chick show up at your place and it's like, ugh, just leave. Don't.
Oh yeah.
Now, how do you?
There was one time where I was talking to a girl online, and she sent me pictures of someone who wasn't her.
Okay.
So
Catfish.
I show up to the girl's house, and she answers the door, and I was like, "Who are you?" And like she starts crying. She's like, "I'm so sorry." She's like, "I didn't think you would like me, so I sent you pictures of my friend." I was like, "All right." I was like, "I gotta go." And she's like, "You're being really like, superficial right now." I was like, "Superficial?" I was like, "You lied to me." Like, you're not the girl in the picture. She's like, "Please come." She's like, "Please come in." She's like, "If you come in, I'll give you a blowjob." Blah blah blah. But I didn't go for it.
Right now, no.
That's happened to me. I actually one time in my life fucked a really fat chick, and so I've
Not
good?
Been
there. Well, it was. All right, so should I tell the story? Like,
yes, you should tell the story.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So this is back, like, God, in my early 20s, mid 20s. when everything was like you're hooking up online and everything, and like I'm 41, so my mid-20s was like 15 years ago or something. So
okay,
it was like AOL days, like when you're in chat and stuff like that, and I was chatting, and I hooked up with a bunch of chicks and everything, and this girl was like, we were chatting. She's like, yeah, we're going to hook up. And I had hooked up a few times. So I was like, I took her at her word.
How many times is a few times? 3, 5, 8, 10?
Well, now that Steph's in the room,
yeah,
only about 3 or 4.
No, be honest. How many times?
At least about 10, 12.
Okay, 10, 12 times.
So this girl's hit me up, and it was like, her pictures looked real. I mean, they weren't, like, obviously Photoshopped. They weren't anything. It's like, okay, it looks like a normal chick. So I'm like, okay, cool. There's a blonde girl, reasonable, like, nothing special. But she had a very pretty face and, some long blonde hair. I'm like, all right, cool. So I was like, I gave her my address when I was living with my big brother, man, over in Parma. Well, she shows up, gets out of the car, and I was like, Jesus Christ, did you eat the girl that you sent the pictures? She was big. And I was like, I didn't know what to do because I'm standing in the driveway, and I was like, well, now she knows where I live, so like if I like go get the fuck out of here, you mule, like
now was this supposed to be a fucking paid hookup?
It wasn't a paid hookup. It's a hookup. It's just a hookup.
Okay,
let's fuck.
Okay,
so because it wasn't my place, I'm like, shit, man. What if she's psycho? Like, I've got to do something. Because she knows where I'm living.
Right.
If she's completely insane and I go, get the fuck out of here, she's going to come fuck with the house, and it's not my house. It's my brother's place, right?
Is this on?
Yeah, it's on.
Yes.
So fucking her makes it better?
It saved my brother from getting his house fucked with.
So obviously you were that shitty in bed that she never came back.
No.
Because most crazy bitches, after you fuck them, will come back.
I haven't gotten to the point where I fucked her. This is, I'm telling you, the end of the story is great.
Proceed.
So, I was like, well, fuck. Oh, I got to do this. So I let her in, went downstairs. My brother's house has a finished basement. It was like almost like a separate little apartment downstairs. So I take her downstairs. I'm like, oh, sweet. So, and I'm looking at her like, all right, she smells like perfume. She's got long blonde hair.
Did the steps bow?
Oh, God. Yeah, she was big. She was big.
Bigger than me or not?
No.
All right.
But, Chris, you would have loved her, man. So I get her downstairs. I'm like, shit, I got to do this. So I'm trying to picture anything to get a hard on. Like,
another man?
No. Well, actually, that would have been better. But remember the last time we were on together, we were doing the Ronda segment, you're like, bro, I'll fuck some ugly shit. And I said, I can't do it. I just can't do that. So I literally, like, I'm looking at her hair, I'm smelling her perfume, I'm like, fuck, I gotta do this, goddamn.
So what do you think, what does it take to fucking get your dick hard?
A lot.
Do you think of
Scarlett?
Can you get your brain around Scar Joe enough to get past Scar Bitch?
It was horrid. But I did. I was like picturing anything I could think of. And finally I'm like, all right, so we're messing around. We're going at it. And she goes, I want you to do me doggy style. I'm like, oh, fuck, all right. So we're on my bed, and I threw her on the floor and put her arms up on my bed.
Right.
And she's a big girl. So her ass was hitting my stomach, and I couldn't quite get
your dick in.
And she's like, oh, just do it. Just do it. And I'm like, I'm trying.
Meanwhile, you're like,
I am.
You're like,
seriously.
You're like doing the lean backward.
No, I'm trying anything I can. And I'm like, and I'm already annoyed. Like, and I'm like picturing anything I can, like Jenna Jameson. And holy shit, man. And finally she's like, will you get it in already? And I went, I can't. Your fucking fat ass is in my way. Because my dick wouldn't reach, and I am hung reasonably, dude. Like, I've got 7 inches down there, and it wouldn't reach because her fucking fat ass was in my stomach. And I was like, what the and she got mad. She's like, you're an asshole. And I said, yeah, and you're a fucking fat liar. Now get the fuck out of here.
Oh.
So that's my one time fucking a fat chick.
So, dude, Chris from...
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, you better believe it.
I've seen some of
I
the
have
girls.
one really, really bad one.
Let Chris tell his story.
This is before the dating sites. Do you remember? Did you used to go into the AOL chat rooms?
Oh, sure.
I did, yes.
This is like I was 26 years old. This is when the AOL chat rooms were big, and this is before. This is when you had the flip phones, before iPhones, so you couldn't like send pictures or anything.
Wasn't the AOL chat like the best place to hook up with chicks? Did you hook up a ton? Because I hooked up a ton off the AOL chat.
Ton. But it was also easy to get catfished that way too, because you couldn't send pictures through your phone at that time.
I actually, the fat broad I just talked about was the only time I got catfished. I actually hooked up with a model because of that. And I didn't believe her, and she showed up at a show that I was playing, and I was like, yeah, watch this. I told the guys in the Gatlin guys, this is what Mikey. I was like, watch this. This chick is totally just sending me model pics. It's not true. She shows up. She was a goddamn model. I was like, rock and roll, and we hooked up. So anyway, continue.
No, so there was one. So I'm in an AOL chat room, and I wound up talking to this chick. I was living in New York. She lived in Vermont, and she sends me pictures, and she was phenomenal looking. So me and the idiot, I wound up taking a 7-hour drive to Vermont. I get there, and her whole family was waiting for me. Like it was like they were having a party that some guy
Are you
was
shitting me?
Like some guy was showing up to meet the daughter. So
oh my
she
God.
comes out, and it's not the girl in the pictures. It was a horror show basically. So now I'm like, what do? I just drove 7 fucking hours. So I come in, I introduce myself to everybody. We're outside in the backyard, and like after 15 minutes, I'm like, all right, I got to get to the car and make the emergency phone call. So I'm like, listen, I left my wallet in my car. Let me go to my car quick. So I go to my car and I call my friend. I'm like, listen, you got to call my phone in a half hour and say that there's an emergency back at home. So as I'm doing that, the girl's father, like they live in like the backwoods of Vermont.
Right.
The girl's father comes to the steps and he sees that I had the windows of my car open.
Okay.
And he goes, Chris, he screams this at the top of his lungs. He's like, Chris, do yourself a favor. Roll up your windows. We got niggers around here.
You better roll up those windows.
So anyway, like a half hour goes by, and my friend calls. I put on the whole show, like, oh no, what do you mean, blah blah. So, and I hang up, and I'm like, listen, my mom just got rushed to the hospital. I gotta go. So I wound up driving back and forth a total of 14 hours to get catfished.
Oh my God. In your defense, I got catfish too way before catfish was the whole thing. Like I quote unquote fell in love
with another man
over AOL. No, she was, she just like, it was like an amazing personality match. We were chatting all the time and everything. I was like,
both of you had a 6-inch cock.
Well, she was a Vienna sausage. And I was like, shit, man. I'm like, man, we gotta send pictures. So I sent her pictures of me. She's like, well, I can't get a good angle. Like,
does that make you mad that it was Life of Agony?
Mina Caputo. Yeah. Nah, dude. She just, and then she sends me a picture, and she was very big. I hope this doesn't turn you off. And I actually was honest. I was like, well, it does, because like if you had told me at the beginning that you were big, like, we could have been buds and everything. We could have been friends and stuff. But the fact that you did this and like tried to like reel me in, like that's a bullshit thing. You lied.
Instead, you're welcome to come over for the fucking 2-for-1 pizza sale.
Yeah, right.
My question is when you hook up with these chicks and they're not what you expect them to be, why do you think you have to fuck them? Because women, if some guy shows up and they're not what they want, they're like, oh, dude, I got to fucking go. I
did it only once. I only did it once.
Stupid.
I only did it once, and it was because I was living with my brother, and I was afraid that she might be psycho.
That's a fucking lame ass motherfucking excuse, dude. Because if you fuck her, you're still gonna piss her off, and she still knows where your brother is.
Well, I didn't know.
How fucking dumb do you have to be?
Go ahead, Steph. Preach on,
You
Steffi.
fucked her because you
right.
wanted the fucking pussy.
You wanted
That's
some
what it
fucking
was.
pussy. I'm with
Got
Steffi
pissed
on
off
this.
because she was too fat. You couldn't get your dick in it. That's when you got pissed off. And
I was
told her off.
afraid she was going to go psycho if I didn't do something.
But
it was my
bitches go
brother's house.
psycho if you do.
Good. Preach on, Steffi.
Look at you. Okay, you know what? You want to talk about who we've banged?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Look at your ex-husband.
Okay, I have one. How many do you have? Because I can count the
I
ones
don't
that
have
I know
an
of.
ex-husband. I don't have an ex-wife.
You have an ex.
I'm your second marriage. Yeah, I do have a.
Mommy.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
I do have an ex-fiance. That's right.
And she's a real fucking cunt.
Oh yeah,
she is.
But you know what's funny? My brother and I went to the Indians game today, and one of the last times that DA and I, DA is my big brother, by the way.
Yes,
we
Demon.
went to the Indians game.
Yeah.
We literally back in 2007, I think.
Yes.
2008, went
we
to
have
the
to have a
Indians game
backstory?
the
Just
day. It was literally the day that we were supposed to get married, and we were on Fox Sports. So it was like the Fox Sports game of the week. I'll never forget. It was the White Sox and the Indians, and I almost brought a big old bed sheet, and I wanted to write on it. I was supposed to get married today, but instead I'm at the Indians game because I had broken it off with Angie, and I was like, I just wanted to go on TV and have someone show that on TV just to give her the
What does
finger.
this have to do with fucking dumb brides?
You
ugly
should.
brides?
You should have just put on that blanket. My ex is a cunt.
Yeah.
Angie was a cunt.
She was not very pleasant a lot of the time.
A lot of the time. None of the time I fucking ran into her. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I got one last story for you. Like,
All right, go ahead.
All right.
So 2 summers ago, I was bartending at the PNC Art Center. That's where all the concerts are during the summer, and it was
Okay.
Kid Rock and Foreigner.
All right.
And there's this
Kid Rock.
hot Barbie doll, hot Barbie doll looking older woman. She was like 3 years older than me. Fake tits, the blonde hair, everything. She was hot.
Okay.
And I wound up getting her phone number. And it turns out her husband is the COO of like a major fast food chain in like the Northeast area.
All right.
We were like flirting back and forth. She wanted to get together. And one day she sends me a picture of her husband and her 3 teenage sons playing pool in their basement. I don't know why she sent me the picture. She sent me the picture.
Steph's rubbing an imaginary dick here. So go ahead.
So I blow up the picture, and I noticed something about one of her sons. He has like that special like hearing aid that like attaches like to your temple. You ever seen one of those things?
All right. Yeah, like a Rush Limbaugh listener.
Something like that. So we wound up going on a lunch date, and we're talking and blah blah blah. And she's like, "Oh, well, what about you? You've never been married?" And I was like, "No, I've never been married, but my last girlfriend, we broke up, and I was really close to her son." And I started like getting a little like teary eyed and stuff. I was like, I was really close to that kid. He was hearing impaired, and he had to wear one of those special hearing devices. And she grabs my hand and she's like, "You're a wonderful man." She's like, "My son is deaf, and he has to wear the same thing." So I had done my research, and I found out like that the leading like doctor or whatever who does that is in like Aurora, Colorado.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, she's like, "So why did you break up?" And I was like, "Oh, they wound up moving to Aurora, Colorado." And she was like, "Aurora?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "That's where the leading doctor for the hearing impaired children are." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." So anyway, Chris, if I could, I'll send you pictures of this woman. She's smoking hot.
All right,
But
send them on.
Her kids are home one day, and she had a Cadillac Escalade. Her husband was away on business.
Okay.
And she picks me up around the corner, puts me in the back seat of the truck. I have to lay down in the truck. And she pulls into the garage.
Okay.
And she snuck me into the house through the garage into that bedroom, and I fucked her while the kids were home.
Oh my God.
Dude, you are like my hero.
And I figured at that point, I figured the deaf one wouldn't hear us, so we were good.
I'd imagine probably odds are good she did not hear you.
But the husband wound up finding out, but he wasn't too, like, he found out. One day we were out having drinks, and she lived like 45 minutes away from where they live.
Okay.
And he texted her, like, come pick me up at the train station in 10 minutes. And she's like, oh shit. And she wound up being like an hour late. And she wound up like coming clean and telling him, and that was the end of that.
Right, dude. You got to answer the question, and I'm gonna preface this by saying I am completely non-judgmental. I'm not judgmental. I'm very supportive of you banging all these bitches. But do you ever feel guilt?
I never once have. This is what I've been doing. Like I said, I've been doing this on and off for a long time. I was engaged once, and when my girlfriend broke up an engagement, like, I was crushed. I was like depressed. I couldn't get out of bed for a month. That whole spiel that we all go through.
Sure.
And then after that, I promised myself. I was like, I'm never going to go through this again. And I'm 44 years old. I'm single. I have no kids, and I just go out and I fuck. And it's like, I haven't met the girl that has like blown me away to the point where I want to stop doing what I'm doing.
Right.
I can't blame you on that one, dude.
Girls are like, and they ask me all the time, like, what are you looking for? I was like, I'm looking for someone who's not going to annoy the fuck out of me, and you all annoy the fuck out of me. So until that day comes where I find a girl who doesn't annoy me, I'm going to do what I'm doing.
Right. I don't blame you.
Yeah, I don't blame you either, man. Like, honestly, if I didn't have Steph...
Listen,
go ahead.
and a lot of them know the deal. Like, I'm not a dick about it. Like, they tell me all the time, like, they're used to meeting these guys, and they exchange phone numbers, and, like, within 5 minutes, the guy's like, send me a picture of your kids, and he's sending a picture of his dick. And I don't do any of that. I play, like, the whole game where, like, I'm not looking to fuck you. I'm not interested to fuck you. I went out with a girl the other night, and I was dropping her off, and she's like, you know, I want to invite you in, but I know if I invite you in, you're going to want to fuck me. And I'm like, I don't want to fuck you. I don't. I was like, I'm happy going home. And she invited me in, and I fucked her.
Now, how big was she?
She wasn't that bad. No, she was actually, like I said, I'm kind of like 50-50. Like, I get my share of cuties, and I get my share of fatties.
So, and you're okay with both.
Yeah.
And you're okay with both. You don't give a fuck.
No, dude, it's like my
dude. I'm
right
not
now,
judging.
My friend and his wife, and I know. I mean, all my friends live vicariously through me. Like, all my friends are married, and they're all like, you know, like, I kind of like envy what they have. Like, they have the family, and they have the kids, and they have all that stuff, and I don't have that.
Right.
But they also envy me because I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Like, I come and go as I please, and I just do what I want. And I enjoy living this way. Like, I tried doing it the other way, and, you know, it's fun. It's nice to have that companionship, but it's also fun doing what I do.
I've said many times, like, I am so over the dating scene and just dealing with all the bullshit. Like, Steph and I, like, literally, like, we joke about it, but Steph and I really have a fantastic marriage. And honestly, if she was like, all of a sudden tomorrow, I'd be like, yeah, I'm out, I would never date again. I would never just try. I would just get laid. You know, and I would do exactly what you're doing. Like, just, I'm just going to get puss.
Yeah.
And I'd be honest about it. Now, I might not fuck 320 pounders like you do, but
I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna go get laid, man. Like,
Steph just said yes, you would.
320.
No, I would not.
The 320 is on the high end.
What do you think about 260?
Yeah. Who's that?
What do you think? What's the top end? About 260?
So on average, I say the girls that I'm hooking up with are between like 180 and 200.
Oh, please, that's damn near an athlete.
Yeah, but not when you're 5'3", but you know. But No, man. But listen, Chris, I would send you pictures of some of these girls. You'd be impressed. You would. They're pretty girls, a lot of them.
Send them on, dude. Request at theclassicmetalshow.com.
All right, I'll send some over to you.
All right, cool. Well, dude, I envy you, man. I mean, I'm sort of captivated into an actual thing, and John and Stephanie are obviously married, but it is fascinating what is going on out there.
Yeah.
Wait, you found the girl? A steady?
Shh.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
All right. God bless you.
Dear Steph, she goes, go ahead, talk about it.
We don't talk about that.
Chris is interested in somebody.
He's
having a little bit of dating fun.
I'll put it this way. When it turns into something real, I will come on to the Classic Metal Show and I will take my medicine for fucking all the months and years that I have talked about. Fuck that.
Well, you've already taken medicine tonight. You've already admitted it. You called her your girlfriend.
Shh.
Oh, man.
It might be a mistake.
Chris, you missed it, dude. He
right.
Aiken slipped. Is like, yeah, my girlfriend, and Steph and I both went, whoa.
Might have been a mistake. What I voiced there might have been a slight overstatement.
A little bit.
Well, I wish you luck.
Well, I'll say this: she don't weigh 280.
In Chris's defense, she's very pretty.
Oh,
she's very pretty.
Thank you.
She's very cool.
So there you go.
And she's listening as we speak. So,
so we have to be nice.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, it's always good talking to you guys.
All right, brother.
Great talking to you, buddy.
All right. Hail and kill.
Fuck you, pal.
Hand job.
Motherfuckers!
Right, there goes Chris. And
I was going to say, to quote Neely, there goes Chris.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to play a couple tunes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to get the fuck out of here. Can you believe it's already over?
It's not over yet, man.
Almost.
We don't even have to play tunes. I think there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, but I'm hammered. I don't
Of course
have that
you're
much
hammered.
more. I don't have that much more to talk about.
Well, we did chase off Bob Nalbandian.
Yeah,
so
we did. This has been a fucking stupid fucking show.
We didn't get to ask him if Matt was who he thought my name was Matt.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, when Bob sent you the email, he's like, I can't believe I'm going to do this, but are we just going to talk about Steph's big tits and then Matt whining all night?
Yeah.
So obviously he knew about Steph, but maybe he thought my name was Matt.
Let me just tell you, I could talk about Steph's tits for 6 hours.
You're falling asleep.
A little bit, but I can still talk about Steph's tits for fucking... In my sleep, I could be like, oh, those fucking pink nipples.
I will not comment. I will just say
they're the shit.
They are as impressive as everyone could imagine they would be.
Steffi could wear a burqa and I'd still jerk my dick.
That's gross.
Steffi, if I start jerking off to you and you were wearing a burqa, would that be bad?
Okay, so I got to tell you this.
Go ahead.
This is how I know you are like super excited about a chick.
Yeah.
And that you were like ready to actually get laid. Because all night long you've been talking about jerking my dick, beating it off, jerking. Yeah. Like literally for
it's
like the last
preventive
5 hours.
maintenance.
Well,
preventive maintenance.
Dude, you were just all about jerking, dude.
Yeah, because I got a month to fucking make sure that I don't two pump chump fucking.
I think you should just warn her. Actually, since we're on the air and she's listening.
Let me just say,
yeah.
I have.
Dear Chris's quote unquote potential girlfriend.
Stop.
You already said
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Well, dear Chris's quote unquote potential girlfriend.
Yes.
You're in for a 2-pump chump moment. Just let him do that, and then after that, we're golden.
I've already been told that even if I 2-pump chump this shit, as long as I don't stop there, I'm good.
Well, you have the good time one, then we're all going to go out on the good time two. Anybody in Cleveland will know that joke. So.
You guys will come over here. I'll be all fucking, she'll be all deflated and shit. I'll be like, I really thought it was going to be great.
And you're going to walk out and be like, oh, everything's amazing. How are you guys?
My
God.
This has been great as I gave up cum in like fucking under 6 inches of movement.
She's gonna be like, I waited 25 years for this shit.
Yeah, it's like, fucking A. I thought you were hot 28 years ago, you fucking faggot.
She's going to go, look, I can accept the burn scars. I can accept the fact that you gained about 300 pounds.
Yeah, but that fucking...
But Jesus Christ, at least give me more than 45 seconds.
Yeah, for God's sake, you looked at me and came. What the fuck?
It's going to be like American Pie. Oops.
It's all about my personality.
It is. I think that's what she's into. All right, play 2 songs.
I am a very special personality.
Just a little bit.
All right, fuck this shit because I'm really digging myself a huge hole.
And yet, you know, your phone is probably blowing up with, "No, you're so funny. The show's so good."
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Believe me, 3:05, the phone's going to be like,
"Yep,
dude, you're a fucking asshole."
No, it's not. I had so much fun listening to this tonight. It was so much fun. You guys are great. I can't wait to see Steph and John.
Well, sadly, the truth, the proof is in the pudding. There, it'll be like, I can't wait to meet Stephanie.
Yeah, and then there's me.
Yeah, and it's like,
you're a fucking jerk.
It'll be like, you two go do something else while we're on the cruise. You two go up on the fucking top deck. We'll talk down here.
All of John's friends say that stuff.
You're gonna go, what the fuck did I do? And I'm gonna look at you and go, what the fuck did I do? Like,
meanwhile, we'll just sit there, fucking hands on our face on the fucking deck of the boat. We'll be like, oh,
yep,
what the fuck?
And every 5 minutes, Steph's gonna come and go, you don't fucking keep drinking, you bastards.
No, Steph will come over and go, she's really cool, but stay here.
All right, so what are we playing?
Let's play some Boiler.
Boiler. Wow. Shit.
We'll play a couple tunes. We'll come back.
I think you should play Forget Forever.
No.
Nope.
What do you mean no?
We're not stroking your ego anymore.
It has nothing to do with stroking the ego.
No.
All night, dude.
No.
Stop with the Gatlin.
No more Gatlin.
People wanted to hear what Gatlin sounded like.
Well, they're fags.
Good.
They
all right,
it.
True. No, they did not hear Gatlin. There's no Gatlin. Oh wait, I did sing part of Going Under, but all right.
It's Boiler, right here.